top 5 finishers at Talladega were disqualified in post-race tech, leading to major playoff implications. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Happy Monday. It is not a very happy Monday for two NASCAR Cup Series race teams. Click right up here in case you missed my full Talladega post-race breakdown and analysis. You can watch that right here. As I was editing that video, breaking news, two top Talladega finishers were disqualified for different spoiler violations. The second place finisher of Ryan Preece and the fifth place finisher, defending series champion Joey Logano. Preece was DQ'd after NASCAR found unapproved shims in the spoiler area, and Logano was DQ'd after NASCAR found one of the spoiler bolts to be missing. This is already the second and third time this season NASCAR has issued a major penalty following a super speedway race for some sort of issue with the spoiler. The spoiler, of course, on the very back of the car, extremely aero sensitive. Daytona, Talladega, the draft, saving fuel, very aero sensitive. Different areas of the car are always scrutinized differently. For years it's been, don't mess with the engines, don't touch anything under the hood. In this era of spec car, next gen, it's don't modify or counterfeit a single source spec part. At Daytona and Talladega, don't touch the spoiler. NASCAR is making that very, very clear. Team Penske released a statement last night, just minutes after the disqualification was official. In that statement, they say, quote, "The number 22 Ford Mustang was disqualified following post-race inspection at Talladega today. One of the 18 bolts on the surface of the spoiler that connect to the base was found to be loose, and NASCAR penalized the team as a result. This was not intentional and happened throughout the course of the race event. Team Penske accepts the disqualification." Whoa, okay, that statement was going one direction and then pivoted at the last moment. It sounded like Penske was trying to justify what happened, or it was unintentional. It sounded like Penske was about to announce that they intend to appeal the decision. But nope, they accept the call. No appeal, at least as of Monday morning when I'm recording this. That is a bit surprising for a couple of reasons. First, I mentioned earlier that there was another spoiler-related disqualification this season. That happened to Chase Briscoe, Joe Gibbs Racing, after Daytona in February. Now, it wasn't the exact same infraction. Logano's issue is with one of the screws on the spoiler base apparently missing, or at the very least being loose. That could theoretically allow the spoiler to flex or bend potentially in the wind, could give the teams a performance advantage. Allegedly, the case with Chase Briscoe JGR, NASCAR had alleged that they had actually modified a single source part. So slightly different infractions, but similar area, similar track type. And Joe Gibbs Racing did appeal the Chase Briscoe DQ and won. They got it overturned. So that's part of why I'm surprised Team Penske's not at least going to try to appeal the Logano disqualification. The second reason, I know it's a fifth place finish. He didn't win the race. This isn't, costing him, an automatic playoff berth or anything. It's just a top 5, but a top 5 comes with serious points. Instead, Joey Logano is scored, I believe, 39th. When you count the stage points Logano would have earned, that is a 40-point swing as a result of this call. If the fifth place finish had stood, Joey Logano would be 10th on the playoff grid right now, 8th in the regular season standings. Instead, as a result of the penalty, he drops to 13th on the playoff grid, a little closer to that cutoff line. Joey Logano may be the defending champion, but he is by no means a playoff lock. Remember last season, he wouldn't have made the playoffs without that 5 overtime fuel mileage finish in Nashville. Joey Logano, Paul Wolfe, and team don't perform their best until the fall. And that seems to be true once again this season. They have one top 10 finish in 10 races. Yikes. All I'm saying is it's no guarantee Joey wins one of the next 16 races to lock in. And if he doesn't, right now he's 13th on the playoff grid. We could see another surprise winner or two. That cut line's only going to get closer and closer, breathing down his neck. Every point matters. You have the chance to appeal and get 40 points back. I'm shocked they're not taking that opportunity. The only reasoning I could consider is that, either A, they know, hey, we were missing a part, a bolt fell out. How do you argue against that? Obviously could have been performance advantage. Maybe it's just not worth their time. The only other reason is maybe there's something else on their car they don't want NASCAR to scrutinize. That's been a thing in the past, I suppose. What's really surprising is that the winner of the race, Joey Logano's teammate, Austin Cindric, passed inspection, and they scrutinized the leader's car more than anyone's. So, again, I'm surprised that Penske is not at least attempting to appeal the Joey Logano disqualification. 40 points is 40 points. That could easily be the difference between making the playoffs and missing it for someone in Joey Logano's position. Speaking of major playoff implications, though, Ryan Preece. According to reports, Cup Series teams are allowed 2 spoiler shims at super speedways. RFK Racing allegedly showed up with 3 on Ryan Preece's runner-up finishing car, so seems like a pretty black and white call. As of this morning, RFK Racing has not released an official statement. They have not indicated one way or another if they will appeal. Team Penske released their statement very quickly. RFK Racing is at least taking a night to sleep on it. If they do make an announcement, I will update the comment section down below to let you guys know. But Ryan Preece, playoff implications, he goes from finishing second, earning a handful of stage points, to finishing 38th with 0 stage points. If the second place finish had stood, Preece would be 14th on the playoff grid, 12th in the regular season points. Remember, the top 16 make it. Not bad for a driver with a new third RFK team, first year with the organization. But because of the penalty, he now drops to 18th in the regular season standings, 19th on the playoff grid. By my count, he is 14 points approximately behind the 16th place driver. And remember, there are still 16 races to go. There's a couple more super speedways, a bunch of road courses. That cut line is going to move a bit, and it's only going to move forward, making it even more difficult for someone on the bubble like a Ryan Preece to qualify. Ryan Preece, unlike Joey Logano, has never won a Cup Series race. Again, considering what is potentially at stake, I wouldn't be shocked if RFK Racing tried to appeal this, though their infraction sounds a little more black and white than Joey Logano's. Like, at least with the Joey Logano case, you could maybe argue that, the forces on the car, long race, grueling, a piece shook loose. That's not our fault. But with RFK Racing, if they added a part to the car that they weren't supposed to, I don't know, that's pretty black and white. I don't know how you defend yourself. But either way, brutal Sunday for Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. We talked about it last night, but Chris Buescher and Brad Keselowski crashed before the end of stage 1, and now Ryan Preece, their lone surviving soldier, finished second, then gets disqualified hours later. Just an awful afternoon for RFK, man. This is a team that needs a lot of things to go right to make the playoffs. Last season, Chris Buescher was very consistent most of the season, but missed the playoffs because he didn't win a race, and others did. It's been well documented at this point, but the boss man, Brad Keselowski, 32nd in points, been a huge struggle so far this year, and just frankly, RFK Racing doesn't have the speed that Hendrick, Gibbs, Penske, for the most part, 23-11. They don't have the speed those other teams have. Chris Buescher is hanging in there, 13th in the regular season standings, but he's only led 2 laps. I looked it up again this morning. He's finally got some laps led on the season. Two whole laps. RFK Racing needs a lot of things to go right to get 2 cars in the playoffs, and unfortunately, everything went wrong at Talladega this past Sunday. I want to speak to this here before we wrap things up. There have been a lot of disqualifications across Cup, Xfinity, and trucks the past few months. I mean, going back to Alex Bowman at the Roval last fall, failing to meet minimum weight, that knocked him out of the round of 8, knocked him out of the playoffs. Eric Jones, Legacy Motor Club, had another weight-related penalty, I think at Martinsville. The stuff this weekend, 2 more DQs. And we just had a disqualification in Xfinity. The winner of the Rockingham race, Jesse Love, failed post-race tech and lost their appeal. The truck race at Daytona at the beginning of the year, Parker Kligerman crosses the line first, and then he fails tech, gets disqualified. This is happening a lot. I can't exactly blame the teams for trying to exploit any loophole they can find, even just a fraction of an inch here, a slight change in degree there. That could be the difference between running 25th and 5th. But it is kind of alarming and frustrating as a fan that the tech shed has become a slaughterhouse. I'm afraid to go to sleep at night until I get that Bob Pockrass tweet that inspection is all clear. We as race fans shouldn't have to live in fear like this, but it's where we're at. And I've seen a lot of fans scrutinize NASCAR's pre-race inspection process. I see the comment all the time. If the car passed pre-race, it should pass post-race. Like, if you didn't find it before the race, then you shouldn't get to find it after the race. It's a long race. A lot of things can happen. Wear and tear. If it's legal when it goes on the track, it should be legal when it comes off. I completely understand that philosophy, but throughout the decades of NASCAR history and engineering, teams, crew chiefs, engineers are notorious for intentionally designing parts and pieces to bend, to flex, to fail during the course of a race. For example, a bolt coming loose on the spoiler or something allowing the angle of the spoiler to change even oh so slightly, that's worth real speed. That could help you with handling. That could help you save more fuel. In the Cup Series today, when every car is effectively equal, a fraction of an inch, a fraction of a millimeter can make a significant difference. Sure, there's an argument to be made that NASCAR should be hands-off, and if teams figure out how to exploit these areas of the car, that's on them. We call that ingenuity, genius. But as we know, with the next-gen car specifically, spec car, it's designed to help the race teams save costs by eliminating the need for all of that extra research and development, spending significant money and time on finding those slight advantages. It's supposed to help the smaller teams without the resources of a Hendrick, for example, keep up. I don't want to open up another conversation around parity. Is it good? Is it bad? And I don't want to talk about cost cutting, cost saving. I mean, everyone in the industry at this point is tired of hearing about cutting costs. Like, I think at this point, you're no longer preaching to the choir. Whatever you're singing is falling on deaf ears, I think. I'm just explaining that, yes, teams intentionally design things on the car to fail during the course of a race. They start legal, they finish illegal. A few years ago, NASCAR somewhat revamped their post-race inspection process to expedite things. Could they do the same with some of their pre-race inspection processes? It's more difficult because you only have so much time during the weekend. You have other series on track. You have limited manpower, and you have to inspect 36, 40 cars per series. You physically cannot spend as much time analyzing every single car in great detail, but post-race, you can spend extra time when you only have the top 5 finishers to worry about. So naturally, cars are not as closely examined in pre-race tech in many ways as they are in post-race tech. That is true. Perhaps something about the pre-race inspection process could be altered in the future. I'm not smart enough to know what those alterations could or should be, but I do know we are seeing an outbreak of post-race disqualifications across all 3 series, and it's alarming. It's not a good product for the fans. Fans should turn off their TV, walk out of the grandstand knowing who won that race, knowing where their favorite driver finished. The occasional disqualification is inevitable because teams are going to push the issue, but when you have 4 Cup Series DQs in the first 10 races, that's something. That's not nothing. That is something. It's a concern. Anyway, my thoughts this Monday morning on the Preece Logano DQ. I'll check the internet one more time. Still no statement from RFK Racing. May not even get one today, I suppose. We'll wait and see there. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Were you shocked, especially as a Logano or a Preece fan? Let me know what you're thinking down in the comment section below. That'll do it. Thanks for watching this video, y'all. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more NASCAR news, race recaps, and much, much more every single day, all year long. Big thank you to my generous Patreon supporters as well. Have a great rest of your Monday, y'all. I will be back again very soon. Should be a busy week heading into my hometown race, Texas Motor Speedway. I'll be there. Looking forward to it. Maybe I'm the only one looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, folks. Talk to you again soon.